If there is one thing that is holding the entire scientific community and the education system, probably for scientists, backwards, it is this. It is failure to give children or students the opportunity to read the materials of their great scientists. And those scientists I'm talking about are Maxwell, Albert Einstein, Sir Isaac Newton, Kepler, Galileo, Aristotle, Plato, those and so many others. They wrote material, and that material, it is what inspires the children to become great scientists. Think about it. Do you think that Albert Einstein would have become great without reading material from Sir Isaac Newton or James Clerk Maxwell? Do you think that Sir Isaac Newton would have become great without reading material or books of Kepler and Galileo and others before him? Do you think that these inventions, the radio, the telephone, the TV you are watching, would have become popular or known today without these guys who invented them reading the material about atoms, cathode rays, and other stuff? Do you think that NASA would have existed in the first place without the ideas of Isaac Newton? So today we are getting a failed scientific society because we have discouraged our students from reading material from this great science. The moment these guys would get this secret, then our entire scientific community would change. This all stuff of social media, whatever stuff you are using to view me, it's all based on research from these guys. This old material is so unique that if a student sits and reads page by page of, say, James Clerk Maxwell's book, you will see some changes. You will see a passion, a zeal for research and finding out how things work. So I'm not doing this because I want money from you. I'm doing this because I'm sorry and crying for the entire scientific community, those who have really made it hard for students to access material from those great scientists. These classics were put in place. These guys never used their money to sit down and spend time writing these books. But if you go to the library and ask for these books, you may find that these books are not available. So that's why we are making it easy for you to find them. So today we are going to look at James Clerk Maxwell book writings. And I want you to clearly settle and see the contents and look at what I'm talking about. The telephone wouldn't have been here without these works of Maxwell. Electricity, the electrical, all of them come from this guy because he made it very clear and he unified the theory of electricity with magnetism. It is this unification of magnetism and electricity that has given us even these electric cars you are seeing. Whatever gadget you are using, it's because of this guy. So I want us to really look into what made this guy popular and what inspired him, what inspired James Clerk Maxwell to come up with such a theory, such a unification. the phone you are watching me on, the computer you are using, the chips in that computer, the waves, the electromagnetic waves of the internet, which are giving you the picture you are seeing now. Whatever means you are using to listen to my voice, it was made possible through the discovery of James Clerk Maxwell. But it's so sad, it is so sad, really sad, to see that people are no longer acknowledging this science and they are discouraging students from reading these materials. Yet it is in these materials that there is a rich and ground-breaking ideas to boost students to research more, ask more, and invent more. We want to put this away and begin a new journey of discovery, a new journey of invention, a new journey of discovering new stuff in this world. So as it is loading, actually what I want you to see here is the contents of this book. It is what inspired this guy. It's the contents in this book. It's what inspired others. It's what inspired Albert Einstein to write down a theory of special relativity in detail as you read it today. So this is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is something we should all talk about. Our students, our generation is going backwards because there is no one to encourage students. There is no one available to inspire students into the scientific world. As it is loading, I want you to really look clearly at the contents of this great book. So I will be, if you are interested in reading this book, I will be putting the link down in the description for you to get hold of this book. Remember, as I told you before, this is not about your money. I'm not interested in your money. So I want you to see where we are going. So it starts with part 1 with an introduction. Then in part 2 talks about on electromagnetic induction. In part 3, general equation of the electromagnetic field. In part 4, mechanical action in the field. In part 5, theory of condensers. Part 6, electromagnetic theory of light. That's where it unifies electricity with magnetism. And so the last part is the calculation of the coefficient of the magnetic induction. All this, what is contained in this book, is responsible for telephone, for social media, for TV, for electricity, and so on. Whatever we are working on was based on this great man. Yes. So he goes on describing this. So I'll be putting a link to this book. You can get this book at, it's not costly. It's not costly. Hope you can see it for yourself. 0.99, just an ebook. So I'll be putting a link for an ebook and a paperback below where you can download these books for a small fee. Yes.